Good morning and welcome to Unity Spiritual Center Spokane. My name is Amber McKenzie and I will be your platform assistant this somewhat sad yet celebratory Sunday morning. Today we honor and celebrate the retirement of our very dearly loved co-ministers, Dr. Gary and Reverend Jane Simmons. This will be their final service as our official ministers. It's been more than 2 years since they announced their intention to retire on this day. And it looks like they're actually going to follow through with it. I had kind of hoped that it was just all a big joke, but no, alas, it turns out it's really going to happen. Darn it. And so we just want to encourage everyone watching at home to please stick around for the entire service today as we honor and recognize our amazing spiritual leaders who have changed so many lives for the better, mine included. Today we will not be having our typical Zoom meet and greet after service, and instead we will be hosting a Zoom retirement celebration at 3 p.m. this afternoon. We ask that all of you who are watching that want to say what you want to say to the Simmons to please attend that Zoom meet and greet. It will not be at the same link that we typically have for the meet and greet. Tara Weir will be hosting this meeting, and so you should have received an email invitation with the new link. You will also find it on the screen. And we will continue to post it so that you can find it. Just make sure that you use the password 2601. So please do attend that meeting this afternoon. Thanks to our transformational ministers, we have become a mission-centric ministry where our focus is all about our mission of transforming lives and inspiring people to make a positive difference in our world. As always, we want to begin our time together by sharing our opening affirmation. I will say it once and then ask you to repeat it with me. There is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God the Good. Together, there's only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God the Good. This is Unity's foundation principle: one presence, one power, one life, living through and as each one of us. This morning, we will hear our final talk from Reverend Jane Simmons, who will be sharing her message entitled, Leave Only Footprints. Dr. Gary will be leading the meditation, so we better really sink in and enjoy it, since this will be the final meditation we hear from him in the official capacity as our minister. We are very excited to have live music this beautiful Sunday morning as well, courtesy of Scott and Lauren Jameson. Thank you so much for being here. They will be singing us in with a Christmas welcome song, It Came Upon a Midnight Clear.
Glorious dawn. and ever over its babble sounds the blessed angels sing. For lo, the days are hastening on, by prophets seen of old, when with the ever-circling years shall come the time foretold, when peace shall over all the earth its ancient splendors bling, and the whole world give back the song which now the angels sing.
That was so beautiful. I love the sound of your voice and the sound of the piano, so thank you so much. Okay, now it's time for some news you can use, some uplifting news you can use. That's what I think is important this time of year. Okay, so the first thing we have is, next slide please, there we go. We've got handcrafted affirmation circlets. This is a fundraiser that we have going right now, and as you can see, these are beautiful circlets, handmade, and they can augment your prayer practice and help Unity raise some money at the same time. So let's see, they include directions and a copy of a loving kindness prayer, and actually it says there are only 42 available. Guess what? There's only 26 available now. So they're going fast. So please make your reservation to have Linda Tweedy show you what's left. And you can do that by calling or emailing Linda. And it's $20 is the requested donation. If you want to give more, please do. It's a great gift idea. And like I said, it's a fundraiser for Unity Spiritual Center. Okay. Next, we have a youth ministry Christmas gathering. That is happening on Saturday, December 19th at 11 a.m. This is a really fun opportunity for families, kids, to come together and sing, play games, and connect. And again, that will be a Zoom gathering, so please register with Reverend Jackie Green. And you can email her at jgreen@unityspokane.org for more information, and she will also send you the Zoom link. Okay, exciting. We are having our Transformational Speaker Series. That will start next Sunday at 10 a.m. And December 20th, we have Reverend Rich Broderhausen. He will be giving kind of a Christmas, pre-Christmas message called Come Let Us Adore. We are also having a virtual Christmas Eve service at 7 p.m. on December 24th. And then on December 27th, right before the new year, we have Richard Seaman. He will be speaking on Raising Your Intention, Part 1. Part 2 will happen on January 17th. This is a great way to kind of prep yourself for intention setting for 2021. So please stay tuned for that. These services will be, we will be having a very small group available to come in for these services. And so what you're gonna need to do if you are interested is sign up online, register online. I think that's the next slide. Register online to reserve your seat. That will open up on Tuesday. So it's not available right now, but on Tuesday you can sign up at unityspokane.org/tickets. Again, very reserved seating, very strict COVID safety guidelines. Everyone must be masked, 6 feet apart, obviously social distanced, and just kind of sitting with your own pod of people, your family. And then we will not be having youth ministry open at this time, so just keep that in mind. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact Unity. If you have questions, again, that opens up on Tuesday, so it's not available right now. So yes, and let's see. Oh, now what we will have is our meditation. Again, that's from Dr. Gary. So thank you so much.
Well, good morning, everyone. And thank you, Amber, for that wonderful introduction. Already there's improvement. Wow, the slides look great. So it's with a heavy heart and an open heart and a joyous heart that we gather today and to connect and to feel a part of each other's lives in a deeper way, even though we'll be separated by distance, but we won't be separated in spirit. So as we begin our meditation today, I just invite you simply to, wherever you are, simply hold the space for this moment and for our being together in this very special way. And so I just invite us all now to sink our attention deeply into our heart space. And as we do so, to allow our bodies to just simply be held by the chair upon which we sit, ground upon which we lay, so that we begin our time together grounded in the awareness of our heart connection. And so as I sit here in this moment, I'm imagining, visualizing from my heart a connection to everyone I know in this ministry, to every life and heart and person, child, family member. Let us become aware of everyone that we know that is a part of this spiritual community. And let us, in this process of feeling a connection, beginning to open ourselves to the elevated feeling of love, of appreciation, of gratitude and care. So all of these emotions come freely as we just simply sink into this moment and feel our connection, as well as recognizing that this connection needs to endure the outer separation for it to be real, for it to be everlasting. And so just as in any transition, when there's an opening or a closing of a door, there is a sense of leaving behind something, but also a curiosity as to what is expected or what is possible. And so we just allow ourselves to be in this moment of letting the desired and the undesired to coexist, the sadness as well as the possibilities of new adventures, to be together in the same moment, so that we'd not get overwhelmed by any given possibility, but simply rest in the sure and certain knowing that there is a greater intelligence at work in each of our lives. And so we intentionally release ourselves into the care and keeping of love and the spirit of love, especially as we connect up to these blessed times, this holiday season. And so as we continue in the visualization of our interconnection, feeling our heart-to-heart connection, imagining, thinking about all the people each of us knows that are a part of this church. How many could that be? 100, 200, perhaps even more, as we realize all of the people that have been blessed by this ministry and by the experiences that we've created together. And indeed, we have together created a legacy that is like a seed that has been planted into fertile soil. So our love for one another, our felt connection to what lies before us, helps to nurture this possibility that begins in the darkness and yet breaks through into the light as we simply allow God's love to do its perfect work in time. And so while we cannot possibly express all the things that need to be expressed to complete or feel complete, we recognize that there will be times that we'll reflect upon what has been released or lost, and yet at the same time be excited about what awaits us. And so I invite us all now simply to move into the silence. And I know that later on we'll have an opportunity to share and give voice to what is moving in all of us. But let us just in this next few moments of silence not feel a sense of loss, but feel a sense of abundance and connection for what we have created together that becomes a legacy that lives beyond all of us. And let us take that into heart, into the silence. Breathe in and release. Breathe in and release. We release ourselves into the care and keeping of the one presence and one power that is at work in all of our lives. We give thanks in advance for this perfect outworking of all the blessings that move us into a greater expression of who and what we've come here to be. And for this truth, we are grateful. So it is. Amen.
Good morning. Today is the third Sunday in Advent, and today we celebrate love. I am a creative spiritual being, and the substance with which I create is divine love. My life today is deepened and enriched and strengthened by the creative intensity that I bring to every choice. It is only by allowing the substance of love to shape my day that I can intensify my life experience and be a blessing to others. I am divine love in expression, and my heart is open to every opportunity the day will bring to share that love with others. From Colossians 3, verse 14. Above all, clothe yourselves with love, which binds everything together in perfect harmony. I light maybe this candle. Do what? Oh, it's in there good. There it is. I light this candle for love.
Okay, here we are. I'm feeling lots of emotion. So I'm just going to go forward here. Think way back to January of this year. If you remember, we dubbed it a year of vision, since it was 2020. And although it was done in a sort of tongue-in-cheek fashion, I really had high hopes that it would be a year of increased clarity and vision and understanding. I was also very excited to look for evidence of the manifestation and the embodiment of our common shared vision, one of a world that works for all, a world where anyone can thrive. Well, as challenging as this year has been, the comedian John Oliver on his final show of 2020 actually blew it up. As difficult and crazy a ride as we've been on, I think it's helpful to remember that in the midst of the chaos, there is order. In the midst of sorrow, there is joy. And no matter what the outer appearance may tell us, in the midst of seeming separation, there's one life. And every one of us is eternally connected to that one life. It's the very source of our beingness. And hopefully the events of this year can actually help us to sharpen our vision of that truth. But in order for that to happen, we need to look to the past through the lens of gratitude, looking for the gifts that it has brought us. You may be familiar with the words attributed to Chief Seattle, words that counsel us that when we're traveling to take only memories with us, sometimes it reads take only photographs, and to leave behind only footprints. And so today I want to share some of the gifts that I have received, some of the memories from the past 5 3/4 years with you, and also some memories from my spiritual journey that actually got me here in the first place. And that journey began when I was 6.5 years old, 60 years ago plus, and I had my first awakening experience. Those of you who may have read my book, You Can't Sleep Through Your Awakening, may remember this story. My then best friend and I were sitting in her backyard on a warm summer's day, and our conversation drifted into talking about the afterlife. And she turned to me and said that after you die, you spend eternity floating on the clouds with the angels. And I could tell by her countenance that she relished the idea. She thought it was wonderful. Her eyes were shining. She had a faraway look in them. I, on the other hand, did not like this prospect at all of eternity sitting on a cloud. In fact, my heart began to sink at the possibility of even thinking about it. My adventurous Sagittarian nature was deflated in that moment, and I felt my soul turn to lead. And I blurted out, "That sounds boring." And my friend got a look of panic and started scooting away from me. I'm pretty sure she thought a lightning bolt was heading towards me and wanted to get out of the way. I wondered if it was coming as well. But I had to be honest. That sounded like torture. So she asked me if I would rather experience the other fiery alternative, perhaps. Eternal damnation. And I thought, those are my choices? Infinite boredom or infinite pain. That didn't seem quite right to me. Not to mention, I was pretty sure in my young mind that I'd already done my quota of bad deeds to earn my place below, especially since I had just insulted the entire heavenly host by inferring they were too boring for me to hang out with them. That probably secured my spot. But in that moment, I did experience a lightning bolt. Not an external one. I had such a feeling of love and peace come over me, and I realized that the loving God that I knew would never do that to me, would never send me to eternal punishment, never. God was my creator. Why would God create me just to torture me for eternity yet? No possibility of escape. It was unthinkable. But the best part of all was that loving presence that I felt within me would never sentence me to a colorless existence on a cloud either. The majesty of God's presence swept over me with such joy that I understood the nature of that presence so deeply, I never looked back. And that moment started me on a journey that still continues today. You know, I've always been a seeker. And in the ensuing years as a child and a young adolescent, I did a lot of seeking. I used to visit different local churches all by myself. And I would join in their Sunday school. I loved Sunday school. I was fascinated by the stories from the Hebrew Bible. I loved them. David and Goliath, Joseph and his coat, Daniel and the lions. I remember being enthralled with these stories and seeing meaning in them. But eventually I found myself questioning things that showed up in the scriptures, like, where did Cain and Abel's wives come from? Why did God kill all the animals with Noah? Surely they hadn't done anything wrong. And when I heard about Lot's wife turning into a pillar of salt, that was the last straw. I wondered why she was being punished for curiosity. If there was a city being destroyed behind me and I was told not to look, I would have to steal a little peek, wouldn't you? And then end up on someone's French fries? That didn't seem fair to me, didn't make sense. So even then I began to poke holes in the literal story and discover the more metaphorical meaning. David was not just meeting a giant, he was teaching me that I could overcome my own obstacles. It started to make more sense to my adolescent mind. I also loved stories about Jesus. How he loved the children. How he had compassion. How he healed people. And I thought of him as my very good friend. And his story of the prodigal son proved to me what I had intuitively known. God always loved me and would welcome me with open arms no matter how far I had strayed. However, the sin and the bloodshed and the God killing his own son stuff, they just never landed on me. So from traditional Christianity, I took what made sense to me and I left the rest. And then when I was 13, something happened that broadened my path forever. The Beatles started to meditate. George Harrison was always my favorite, and I was captivated by the magic and the mystery of Eastern religion. I began reading all I could get my hands on around the subject, and when I learned about reincarnation and karma, now this made sense to me. Of course, God would keep giving us chances to right our wrongs. And throughout all of my teen years and as a young adult, I became a voracious reader and student of spirituality and metaphysics. Edgar Cayce, Paramahansa Yogananda, Ruth Montgomery. I read the Bhagavad Gita, the Dhammapada. I loved the legends around all those religions. I read Rumi and Khalil Gibran. Joseph Campbell excited me with mythology, and I turned to studying mysticism, the Kabbalah, the Theosophy, Sufism, Meister Eckhart, Wiccan philosophy, Hebrew and Christian scriptures. It was all so fascinating. My nose was always in a book on any kind of metaphysics. In fact, the two kindly librarians at the small library near my home, who had known me since I literally learned to read, would put aside spiritual books that they thought would interest me. Inevitably, they were right. Then at the age of 17, I backpacked through Europe and Asia, and I met up with a group of eclectic spiritual wanderers. This is back in the hippie days. And at that time, as I traveled with them, I became a lifelong vegetarian and had my eyes open to the power of being in a spiritual community with people of like mind. And then one day, in my mid-30s, I discovered a Unity church in my hometown, and I found to my delight that there were a whole lot of like-minded people who thought the way I did. At Unity, I found the meeting place of all of those great loves of mine. Eastern philosophy married with the fascination of the Bible stories from my childhood. Here I found the Jesus of my youth, my friend, my loving companion. my elder brother, my way shower, the great example. It fit like a glove for me, especially because unity honored all paths, and that worked for me. I began teaching the children, ended up being the youth director, onto the teen sponsor, and as the years went by, a licensed unity teacher, and then in 1999 was ordained a unity minister. And the past 21 plus years of ministry have been a wild ride, taking me on adventures I've never dreamed possible, and I wouldn't change 1 minute of it. I consider unity ministry to be one of the greatest blessings of my life. And throughout all of it, I have felt this magnetic pull of Spirit's love calling me higher, teaching me how to love better, how to be a more open and clear avenue through which transformation can emerge. And transformation has become my passion in ministry, especially when it has to do with awakening to the truth of who we are. You may have noticed this about me. From the book A Course in Miracles Experiment, the author Pam Grote writes, I landed on earth vibrating with possibility, knowing my divinity, being excited to serve and love. I knew I was an eternal being and had no limits. But she goes on to say that over the years, she learned to be limited. And I think she captured what I believe every one of us experiences to some extent. We come to this planet knowing our worth, eager to make a difference. And then through our early childhood experiences, we take on limiting beliefs that tell us we are less than, that we're not the one. And awakening is going beyond those beliefs and remembering the truth of who we really are, remembering, rejoining the wholeness as a member of Spirit's revolution. Remembering. Joseph Campbell wrote that a human being is protoplasm with an urge. Capital U, urge. And I believe we all have that divine urge to truly become all that we're meant to be, the embodiment of the Christ in expression, a clear channel for divine love. That's what the story of the birth of the Christ is all about. It's a birth in our awareness. It's an awakening to the deeper dimension and bringing it forth into manifestation. And in order to do that, we have to clean up our past. We have to integrate any stickiness that might be there from those beliefs that we have been unconsciously harboring. Otherwise, they will just keep getting in our way. They will continue to quietly sabotage our individual and our collective evolution into a more spiritually mature, awakened culture. Centuries ago, the Roman Stoic philosopher Seneca gave some wise words of counsel. Don't stumble over something behind you. So cleaning up our past is a big part of that work. And of course, I got to bring this up. The Q process has been instrumental in helping me to do that. And I do hope that you will continue to use it as the tool that it is designed to be for helping to clear your consciousness from anything keeping you from knowing your own worth and value. Because helping people return to the knowing of the truth of who they are is what ministry has become for me. And if I can leave one footprint behind, as I move into retirement, I hope it is this. I found the Q process to be a way out of the prison of unconscious conditioned behavior. It is freedom and liberation from our past. And my prayer for you and for all of us is to be free of that past, to let go of whatever is holding us back, to step forward as instruments of the divine, being who we've come here to be, awakening to the deeper source of oneness that lives within us eternally. That source is within you. It's within me as strongly as it is within everyone, regardless of what has happened in the past. As Ernest Holm writes, in our ignorance we misuse our divinity. But he adds, without changing or destroying it. And that's the good news for us. No matter what's blocking the flow or how long it's been doing so, our divine essence is as powerful and precious and magical and mighty as it ever has been right now. And you are here to be the embodiment of that essence in order to usher in a new kind of aliveness in our world. As Richard Rohr says it so beautifully, to support the supreme work of love flowing into the world. The Course in Miracles says it is your power, it is in your power to make this season holy, for it is in your power to make the time of Christ be now. And that is the true meaning for me of the second coming, stepping into our power and being the expression of love in the world. So first we awaken to who we are, that's the birth, and then we express that truth to the world. That's the second coming. And as you've heard, this week's theme of Advent is love. And somewhere along this journey, I realized it all comes back to love. It's all about that. And so when I think about the last 5 3/4 years, it's love that shows up in my heart. So many memories that warm my heart. Sacred Rubble, Hollyberry Ball, Unity Home Companion, and the music. Oh, beautiful music today. Thank you so much for blessing us. And there's more to come, I know, but the music here has always opened my heart so much. The choir. Remember choir days? I mean, I just love... Okay. Broadway on Bernard. Our children and our youth and the youth ministry angels. All the special services we've had. The chaplains and their prayer support. The women's groups, the book studies, the classes, spirit groups, and all of the volunteers who have been the backbone of this community. Every board member that has blessed us in countless ways. The amazing staff here, past and present. And above all, the caring and the commitment of every single member of this congregation. Even with COVID this year, I've been so richly blessed by the continued support, the outpouring of generosity, the wisdom, the kindness that you have shown to us since we've been here. Please know that you have all contributed in some way to blessing Gary and me in our time here. Marianne Williamson said, "You are here to fly at full wingspan for the glory of the one who sent you." And that is the image of you all that I will hold in my heart, flying at full wingspan. So I will be taking only positive and healing memories with me from this sacred sanctuary. And I hope I haven't left too many muddy footprints behind, because it's bound to happen. I'm still learning along with all of us. I will never stop learning. In many ways, I'm still very much like that 6.5-year-old. I still love sitting with good friends on sunny summer days. I still love to have metaphysical conversations and spiritual discussions that can get me into trouble sometimes. I still have an eagerness for more learning that will never end. I still see Jesus as my way shower and feel great love in my heart for him and his guidance. I still know without a doubt that the presence of God is divine love, and that love is our very essence and wants to express through every single one of us. And I still think that floating on a cloud for eternity would be unbearably boring. And so it is. Okay. I'm going now.
Might get a little emotional. Thank you, Dr. Jane. I know I'm not alone in expressing my thanks to both you and Dr. Gary for following your soul's mission and awakening to who and what you have come here to be. A transformational force in the lives of so many, myself included. You are both treasured gifts in the lives of so many here at Unity Spiritual Spokane and across the nation. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Unity stands for peace in the presence of conflict, for love in the presence of hatred, for forgiveness in the presence of injury. Unity honors the many names for God, the many paths to God, for we know that there is one power, one presence, one life. So whoever you are and wherever you are on your spiritual journey of transformation, you are welcome here. If you are new to our ministry and are interested in learning more about our upcoming transformational speakers, workshops, and events, please sign up for our email newsletter by texting Unity Spokane to 22828, or sign up on our website at unityspokane.org. You can also connect with us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You can watch past messages. You just simply search Unity Spiritual Center Spokane to find us. Now is our time to celebrate abundance together as we share our gifts and love offerings. For those of you feeling the divine call to financially support our ministry today, you can text GIVE to 253-528-7416 or visit our website, unityspokane.org, and click on the donate button at the top. Please know that your giving means so much to the vitality of our ministry. And so with that in mind, let us take a moment now to sink into our hearts and bring forth a feeling of gratitude and generosity as we say together our love offering blessing. I know that my giving blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I give and receive. I give thanks for the abundance that is mine to share. Our chaplains today are Tim, who is holding Tim is holding the service here in the sanctuary, and Marlene is holding the virtual service in prayer from home. Thank you so much, Tim and Marlene, for your service today. It is greatly appreciated. We would like to encourage anyone who is in need of prayer support to please submit your requests through our online form. Simply go to unityspokane.org and click on the Contact Us button on the main page. You will be taken to a prayer request form. Names are added to our prayer list and are prayed over for 30 days by both our prayer ministry here at Unity Spokane as well as Silent Unity. So lots of prayer support. And now we want to take some time to honor and celebrate the retirement of our co-ministers, Dr. Gary and Reverend Jane. We will start with a beautiful song performed by Scott and Lauren Jameson entitled Love Where You're At. And then Joan Breckling and Karen Dunmore will take it from there. Go ahead. Thank you.
I keep my dirt on the surface so you don't gotta dig. The people that make me nervous try to hide all their sins, and I've got no reason to cover my tracks. The best part of learning is just loving where you're at. So love where you're at. Yeah, love where you're at. Keep your dirt on the surface and just love where you're at. I wear my sins on my collar so everyone sees. And there ain't no bother in spreading rumors about me. I ain't no angel, but I ain't so bad. And the best part of learning is just loving where you're at. So love where you're at. Yeah, love where you're at. And keep your dirt on the surface and just love where you're at. So love where you're at. Yeah, love where you're at. Keep your dirt on the surface and just love where you're at. So love where you're at. Yeah, love where you're at. Keep your dirt on the surface and just love where you're at. Keep your dirt on the surface and just love where you're at. And keep your dirt on the surface and just love where you're at.
Good morning. I'm glad to be here today on behalf of the board and the entire congregation. I'd ask Jane and Gary to come join me, if you would, please. Socially distanced. Jane and Gary, today is like a graduation day, both for you and for Unity Spiritual Center, for all of us. As we look back, we see the familiar, the known. We have all the wonderful memories, and as you've said, so most importantly, the love. As we look forward, there are so many stories we're telling ourselves. There are so many unknowns. But we also know that we cannot know it all. The future is open. And in this present moment, as in the past and the future, we all dwell in the loving field of infinite possibility. And we affirm that all is well and that wonderful new experiences await each one of us. At the same time, we acknowledge the sadness of our parting. Gary and Jane, there are no words to fully express your impact on so many of us here at Unity of Spokane, but I'm going to try in a nutshell. You've challenged us to acknowledge and work with our shadow side and integrate who we've come here to be more fully into our daily lives. You've modeled for us through sharing some of your own personal struggles and growth points, teaching us self-compassion. And you've awakened in us a motivation to contribute to the creation of a new paradigm where love prevails and oppression and equity have no place. Of course, your time with us spans only the last 5 years. I'd also like to acknowledge your dedicated contributions to the many other Unity centers that you've served over the course of your careers, and certainly to the Unity movement as a whole. And I'm sure that if this were not a pandemic time, there would be many others here with us today joining us to celebrate the two of you. So we will hold them as present here as well. So, to make sure you don't forget us, we have a special gift for you. And I'd like Hank to bring it up. Oh, they should unwrap it, yes, absolutely.
Go ahead and unwrap it. It's a concrete, bag of concrete.
It's cement.
Say what it is, John.
Okay, so as we release you, as we release you, we also want to cement our connection with you. Oh, but wait, there's more. We have a gift that will be arriving at your home next week, and we'd like to show you a video now of what that entails. As you can see, it's a kinetic sculpture named Nautilus, and we are just hope you will have a wonderful time having it at your home. And so, on the part of all of us, thank you so much, so much. There's no way to say it. Love you.
Okay, nice. Gary, always the pragmatic one, said, now I see what the concrete is for.
I've only dug about 45 holes and mixed about 2,000 pounds of concrete. So this is a piece of cake.
You're well prepared.
So you should be pretty good at it.
Yeah.
That's right.
So I had the idea at the end of October that you should have a mind movie of the experiences here, of the center, of all the groups. So I couldn't do it alone, so I enlisted Linda and Lisa to get the word out, and I have hundreds of pictures on my home computer. I wasn't able to use them all. Then I thought instead of pat affirmations that I would have everyone that wanted to just send a message or a prayer. So whatever couldn't fit on the bottom of the picture, I have written here, and I'll give that to you. So I have a thumb drive back there with Caleb, so he'll give that to you. But we're going to go ahead and play it now. So, God bless. Might as well sit down.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. Tu es l'image de Dieu. I hold you in my heart. Tu es l'image de l'amour. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. Tu sei la luce di Dio. I hold you in my heart. Tu sei il volto dell'amore. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are the face of love. You are the face of love. The face of love. I hold you in my heart. You in my heart. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. The face of love. You are the face of God. The face of God. I hold you in my heart. You in my heart. You are a part of me. A part of me. You are the face of God. The face of God. You are the face of God. Eres la luz de Dios. I hold you in my heart. Eres la cara del amor. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. 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 La luce di Dio. You are the face. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. L'image de Dieu. You are the face. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. La luz de Dios. You are the face. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the
Okay, question. So are you still going to retire? I mean, you might have second thoughts now. I know I would. All right, I guess that's a no-go. We want to thank the transition team for putting today's service and kind of this celebration together, as well as our Zoom celebration this afternoon. Don't forget, it's at 3 p.m. And please check your email for the revised link. And we also want to thank Gay Ribble for the video presentation for the gift that you will be receiving very soon. And also Karen Dunmore for the amazing Mind movie that you can enjoy over and over, and that was very beautiful, very touching. Let us now join together for our final closing prayer of protection with Dr. Gary and Reverend Jane, followed by our closing song, Joy to the World. Together we affirm, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And that's the truth.
Joy to the world, the Lord has come. Let earth Joy to the world, the Savior reigns. Let men their songs employ, while fields and floods, rocks, hills, and plains repeat the sounding joy. Repeat the sounding joy. Repeat, repeat the sounding joy. He rules the world with truth and grace, and makes the nations prove the glories of his righteousness, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love, and wonders, wonders of his love.
Thank you both so much for that beautiful closing song. Thank you, Dr. Gary and Reverend Jane. We love you eternally, and we are so grateful for your gifts, and we wish you the best in your future retirement years and future endeavors. Thank you again. Yeah, please. Oh, do you want to say something,
I
Dr.
want to
Gary?
say something. This is the last something I'm going to say, and I want to say it about you. And that is, I want to introduce to you our newest Q Process Facilitator, certified, Amber McKenzie. She just completed her certification. Thank you so much for all the things that you've done to make this day so special. Thank you, Karen and Joan and Amber and Judy and Scott and I forget your name. Al and Courtney and there's Maxim and Marcia and Tim and Annie, Caleb. Linda's someplace. Michelle. So thank you all for making this day such a perfect day for us, such a gift to us. this manuscript?